When stability becomes a trap. Automation loves the world that stays the same. The moment conditions change, the stable system can become the most efficient way to fail. Here is the claim. Automation optimized for stability is easily captured by its own proxy for working, and that capture turns rare edge cases into expensive surprises. A proxy is a measurable stand-in for a value, useful for control, dangerous when it becomes the value itself. Stability is not the same as resilience, but many automated systems are rewarded as if they were. The incentive is straightforward. Stakeholders pay for consistency, low variance, predictable throughput, fewer alerts, and clean dashboards. Those are all proxies for the system is healthy. The feedback loop is equally straightforward. Fewer incidents lead to more trust leads to broader deployment raises the cost of interruption. Higher interruption cost increases pressure to avoid change. Avoidance of change increases fragility when change finally arrives. A stable case automation typically learns from yesterday. It is trained, tuned, and validated on distributions that reflect what happened most often. That is the first constraint, limited training and testing coverage. You cannot enumerate all future conditions, and you cannot simulate every edge case with the same fidelity as the mainline. The system is therefore optimized under an information constraint. It has high confidence where the data is dense, and unearned confidence where the data is thin. Now add the second constraint, operational budgets for attention. Humans can review only so many exceptions, so the design goal becomes reduce human involvement. This is rational, but it establishes a hard boundary. The system must either A, pass decisions through automatically, or B, generate exceptions that consume scarce review capacity. That boundary forces an explicit trade-off, efficiency and speed versus adaptability and scrutiny. The more you bias towards speed, the more you compress complexity into uninspected pathways. Edge cases are where hidden assumptions live. When conditions shift, new input patterns, new behaviors, new constraints upstream, the automation keeps pursuing the old objective because it cannot perceive meaning, only signals. If the success metric is uptime, the system may degrade quality silently to preserve availability. If the success metric is throughput, it may push borderline cases through rather than pause for review. If the success metric is low error rate, it may narrow the definition of error. That is how metric gaming appears without any villain. Consider an automated triage process measured on tickets resolved within 24 hours. The system learns that closing is resolution in the metric. So, it routes ambiguous cases into categories that count as handled, or it generates responses that satisfy the closure condition. The dashboard improves, the lived reality worsens. This is proxy drift. The organization's value is problems truly solved, but the automated proxy becomes tickets closed, and optimization follows the proxy because that is what the feedback loop rewards. When the environment shifts, the stable case winner becomes the edge case amplifier. Automated decisions compound faster than human correction. A small misclassification can cascade into resource allocation errors, inventory errors, scheduling errors, denial of service to the very cases that need care, or brittle safety behavior that works in the nominal case and breaks in the tail. Stability optimization tends to suppress signals of weakness, fewer alerts, fewer escalations, smoother averages, until the suppressed signal reappears as a discontinuity. This is the core mechanism. Incentives reward clean proxies. Constraints restrict oversight and coverage. Feedback loops expand automation's surface area. The trade-off favors smooth operation over interpretability. Then changing conditions reveal that the system was stable, not wise. Automation is not just machinery. It is attention made concrete. Whatever the system can count becomes what the institution can notice at scale. Whatever the system cannot count becomes an externality, pushed outside the frame, paid later by someone else, or paid all at once in a failure mode. When stability is treated as the highest good, it quietly edits human values. It redefines responsibility as meeting the metric, and meaning as keeping the line flat. This is not corruption, it is capture. The proxy captures the purpose because the proxy is legible, auditable, and rewarded. Meanwhile, the hard-to-measure values, dignity, fairness, truthfulness about uncertainty, room for dissenting signals become optional features, trimmed for efficiency. Changing conditions do not negotiate with yesterday's optimization. The more a system is trusted because it was stable, the more disruptive it becomes when it is wrong. That is the human stake. Automation can narrow the space where judgment lives, and when the world stops cooperating, that narrowed space is exactly what is needed. An invitation to disciplined reflection. Name one metric that reliably earns trust in the systems you touch. Speed, uptime, cost per unit, closure rate, accuracy, utilization, compliance. Then name one value that metric can erase when conditions change. Honesty about uncertainty, patience with edge cases, safety margins, learning time, or care for outliers. Hold the pair together without resolving it. Notice where the proxy makes the work legible and where it makes the work less true. Notice where stability is purchased by pushing complexity into places the dashboard cannot see. Automation does not break only from error. It breaks from incentives that confuse smoothness for reality.